training and classes at 64 Leicester Road in Park Forest. And Fusion Beauty Academy, professional training for cosmetology and more. Located at 18 Ohio Street in Joliet.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-575-8935. 800-575-8935. That's 800-575-8935.
Hey family, it's me again, Joan Colasso, Executive and Artistic Director of the amazing Timeless Gifts Performing Arts Program for youth and young adults. It's been a great summer, and now it's time for you to see the incredible talent we've been cultivating in 2026. As we present a Timeless Gifts Review, Sunday, August 9th at the Logan Center. Come and enjoy this amazing musical journey as we share some of our best experiences and productions over our 16 years, like Timeless, a musical review, Hit Me, Once a Hit, Always a Hit, and from our international tour in Milan, Italy, and much more. That's Sunday, August 9th at the Logan Center, 915 East 60th Street. For tickets and information, go to ticketfalcon.com/TG Summer 2026 and find us on social media at TimelessGifts_Chicago or call us at 312-808-0005.
CTA is coming to WVON, Sundays 7 p.m., not the train. Call to action with your host, Randria. When life has you at a stop, he'll pick you up and help you find out where you're going and the best connections to get you there. Take the ride every Sunday at 7 p.m. with your host, Randria. The next stop might be yours.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown 95th, slow go, and there is an accident reported. Dan Ryan at 71st Street, 31 minutes. I-57, Ryan to I-80, slow go, 15 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan to I-80, 94, slow moving traffic due to road work, 18 minutes. Stevenson to Sawbuck Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State stop and go traffic, 43 minutes. Eisenhower Wolf to Post Office stop and go traffic, 44 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare, there is a disabled vehicle causing the left lane to be blocked. Kennedy south of Madison Street, 52 minutes. And Edens, Josley Cook, Smooth Sailing, 17 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, straight showers, high of 79 and a low 67. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 86 and a low of 68. It's currently 86 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page. Let's talk Chicago, WVON 1698.
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the icon of American radio, WVON. We're in Chicago.
It's former state representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, Chicago. What's good? What is good? It is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And I'm blessed. I'm honored. I followed up from Logan Page, who's, rocked the mic. All right. She's always looking like a model. Like she's ready to go into like a Essence or Ebony fashion show. Always doing her thing.
Got the voice for
Man, hold on. Let me do my thing.
You don't know who I am.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, in studio with me, honoring me with his presence. I knew him when he was a young man. Put your hands together. Say hello to my little friend, LaShawn Ford.
Ken Dunkin, the legend, the man that made Hollywood come to Illinois.
Bruh, that was my key signature legislation. You remember that?
I remember. I mean, we would not have all the movies in Chicago and across this state if it wasn't for you.
I love you for that, brother. You were a co-sponsor.
I was a co-sponsor of it. I was a co-sponsor of your bill when it dealt with hemp. You remember you got the trophy?
They clobbered me with that.
And now it's the real deal.
It's the real deal. We've spent over $1 billion back then when I was in office in hemp products for me. Interior of your car, materials, lotions, waffles. So now it's the law of the land.
Man, you're a visionary. We miss you in government, but I know you have left your mark, and I'm sure you're still doing things to make America great.
Again. Hootie hoo. Hey, man, one thing about Donald Trump, he's doing everything he said he was going to do.
Oh, Lord.
And then some.
Yes.
We're not used to politicians doing that. Man, he is out there clowning. He's clowning. Where he's created a pool for white folk to fail up.
Yeah, that's right.
The most mediocre white folk around. Man, I'm like, what the hell? He got Pete Kegseth, Keg.
Yeah.
Seth.
Yeah,
on the bar. So anyway, bruh, how is it like going through this transition? First off, you think you're going to win in November? That's tough competition, I hear.
We got a Republican candidate that's on the ballot, and so we're doing everything we can to continue to march on to the finish line. Of course, we got the Congressman Danny K. Davis. That's been awesome in this quest to make sure that we hold the seat. And so I thank him for that. And I thank you for your years of paving the way for me, because you were there before I came.
Absolutely, man. And I used to cuff you.
You did.
I tell people, I helped raise LaShawn Ford.
Before I came, you were there. You and our friend, attorney
Randy Crumpton.
Yes.
Wow.
And you guys, why I got to think, you put me in that hotel, that motel. Why y'all put me in that motel?
What motel you talking about?
Over there by the mansion.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all stayed at the nice hotel, and y'all
down
left
in Springfield,
me at that motel. Y'all stayed at a hotel, and I had to stay at the motel.
Because, man, first off, you were a freshman.
Right.
Or you were trying to get on the ballot,
right.
something like that. I don't know.
Trying to get on the ballot.
And Randy spoke volumes of you,
Mm-hmm.
But my biggest issue is, who has the biggest head, y'all? Come to Facebook Live and tell me whose head is bigger, mine or state representative, soon-to-be Congressman LaShawn Ford?
I mean, the circumference of your head is just big all around. I mean, I got...
You have a gargantuous, infinity big head.
Yeah, and light skin is out.
Man, I think we're back.
I don't think so.
I think we are back. Real talk. I'm trying to find some references. Ice-T he's done. I'll Be Sure is back on tour.
Is he? All right.
So and the guy Williams.
I'm trying to think of our dark skinned brothers.
Man.
Ladies, tell us if it's dark skin or light skin.
Ladies, come in, join the Facebook Live, and at least listen to the show. Hey, let me ask, man, what I can say is I am thoroughly impressed with Congressman Danny Davis and what he did for you and for our community.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, hey, Robert, can you open up the lines? Oftentimes, the politicians get a bad rep of not having a succession plan.
Yeah.
And so what Congressman Danny Davis has done is just magnanimous. So, and I tell Black people, stop being so down on us, because there are a lot of us who are doing great things. You even had a transition as well.
Oh my goodness, a transition. So many transitions.
Well, I'm saying in terms of the young lady that's following up in your seat.
Oh yeah, so we got Chantel Franklin. She's gonna definitely win. I don't think she has an opponent. So
Yeah,
she
needs one vote.
She needs her vote.
She's young. She's beautiful. She's intelligent.
Yep.
Very impressed, man.
She is. I think that she's gonna what you call level up the 8th district, and she's gonna elevate it.
Yes. I was impressed that how you create a legacy program, a legacy to follow up, as well as that young lady, man. Just out of this, this world, man. That to have someone really with that depth of knowledge, not just congressional knowledge, but as an alderman, as a county commissioner, as a professional. What is it that you really are gonna miss when you leave Springfield?
Springfield is a place I give a lot of credit, and Rep. Duncan, that Springfield is work. It's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's intimate, and the members in Springfield, I mean, from morning till night, it's constant work. You have committee meetings, then you have session.
8 a.m. Committee meetings.
Yes, and so it's a lot of work. People don't know. So, and it's a lot of intimacy. I mean, like work.
Yeah, we heard about the intimacy part.
And so it's a lot of work. And you meet with the advocates, you meet with the lobbyists. And so it's a nonstop effort. And so I'm not exactly sure of the rigor like that in Washington, because they don't pass a lot of bills. And so we pass thousands of bills during our session. And so they don't pass as many bills. So I will miss the ability to pass a lot of bills. I passed hundreds of bills as a member of the General Assembly. So I'll miss that. And that's where public policy is made that impacts local government and state policy. So,
man, that's good. We got to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, we only have it for a few minutes. In studio live with none other than our very own, and he spent a lot of time and money on this station, State Representative, soon to be Congressman, LaShawn K. Ford.
Light skin or dark?
We'll be black.
More with Ken Duncan on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey, baby. I'm your Magnolia Blues man, Sir Henry Cheatham, inviting you to join us. WVON 1690 for some real American music and culture. Here on Classic Blues and R&B. Check us out Saturday, 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. on WVON and Classic Blues and R&B.
Looking for a fun, free event the whole family can enjoy? Join Inside Hospital and Medical Center Chicago as we celebrate 5 years of serving our community with a community block party and health fair on Saturday, August 15th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 2525 South Michigan Avenue, formerly Mercy Hospital. Enjoy free food trucks and ice cream, music and entertainment, games and activities for all ages, free health screenings, wellness resources, and the chance to meet our expert providers. Bring your family, bring your friends, and celebrate with us. Admission is free. We can't wait to see you. Learn more at InsideChicago.com. That's InsideChicago.com.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's Cleopatra.
I really enjoy coming on your show because when I come on your show, I always learn something about something I didn't know about before. You just teach. I'm a white woman. I'm a Southerner. I always am craving knowledge that I don't previously have. And I am so grateful to you for constantly educating me on things I don't know.
Middays at 9 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
CTA is coming to WVON. Sundays, 7 p.m., not the train. Call to action with your host, Randria. When life has you at a stop, he'll pick you up and help you find out where you're going and the best connections to get you there. Take the ride every Sunday at 7 p.m. with your host, Randria. The next stop might be yours.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic, and there is an accident reported. Dan Ryan at 71st Street, 28 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, slow go, 17 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94, slow go. Due to road work, 19 minutes. Stevenson, due Sabo, Lakeshore Drive, to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 44 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftown Post Office, stop and go traffic, 48 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, there is a disabled vehicle causing the left lane to be blocked. Kennedy at Madison Street, 52 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Lake Cook, there is an accident. US 41 before Half Day Road, 17 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago. Straight showers, high of 79 and a low of 67. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 86 and a low of 68. It's currently 86 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago, WVON 1690 AM.
And now back to former State Representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, Chicago, we are black. Here in the studio with me is none other than Congressman LaShawn K. Ford. LaShawn K. Ford, tell us, how your Lisa Ray is coming to town?
Yeah, oh my goodness, Samantha Chapman. What about Samantha Chapman doing her thing? Mama, I made it. In August, she'll be doing a live read, August 7th through the 14th. Chicago's own Lisa Ray McCoy joined Samantha Chapman on a brand new episode of Mama, I Made It. Hear a story from Chicago to Hollywood and the journey behind her success. Watch now on Vaughn TV, available on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and WVON app, or at Vaughn.tv.
Man, that's pretty good for a first take.
Yeah.
By the way, man, That was a terrible live read.
It
but
was, you know.
It's all good.
I'm a politician.
Hey, look, now, LaShawn K. Ford, obviously, we grew up, he's a Cabrini Green person, and he's a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Gold Mob.
So
you got me in that.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Me, Randy Crumpton, may he rest in heaven.
Yeah.
By the way, the Chicago International Film Festival is going to be, we're honoring him. So you got to be there.
Oh, you brought me to my first film festival.
Yes.
Boy, I tell you, something about you.
Man, look here. I took you on a journey, I took this man one time over to a country above Iran.
Oh, you talking about when you
Remember
had me
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan. What were you had? That's the first time I even had that. What's that? Hookah. Well, you're a bad influence.
Man, look here, right? We had a blast over there, man. That was crazy. And then, of course, we went to the tennis game.
Oh, I tried to get you to come back.
You did. I remember that. I'm like, he was like, man, you better go.
You better come back, man, please.
Right. Here we go now. But tomorrow, I hear you're going to be at the Bud Lickens Day Parade.
Yes, I'm going to be marching with Congressman Danny K. Davis. He's
Wow.
going to have, I think his position spot is 48, and I'm 49. And we hope people will come out and march with us.
Is he going to be walking like he usually does?
He's going to walk the whole parade. And I'm excited to watch
Really?
him walk the whole parade and shake hands up and down King Drive, the oldest back-to-school parade in the world. I think this is
Wow.
the 97th, is it?
That is it?
It may be.
What year is it? I don't know. We can look it up.
And I tell you, I'm excited to be in it, and they're doing a great job keeping it going. School starts soon, and this is what it's all about.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that Bud Lickens Day Parade is so sort of ensconced in everyone's DNA and blood. I enjoyed it. It's really a celebrity time to shine for locals, for kids, and elected officials. So it's going to be quite interesting.
And it's a clean parade. Think about all the other parades. There's no drinking going on. It's family fun.
Interesting.
And that's excellent.
That I never thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see people urinating in people's
Right,
yards
right.
and drinking beers and
It's well
going-
situated.
Yeah. So people should be proud of how we come together as family at the Bud Lickens Day Parade.
Absolutely. Is there a wait, are you gonna be walking or are you gonna be driving?
I'm gonna be walking. I'm gonna be walking in the parade. I've walked the last parade with a sprained ankle from start to finish, but I did it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, you
my
must
ankle
be-
right now.
Okay. And also, this guy, sometimes I see him at the gym, he tries to embarrass
Look
me.
at this.
Right.
Mm.
Hercules.
Yeah, you're not bad.
Yeah, I'm getting a little chub. I gotta stop summer cocktailing.
Yeah.
See, I don't if I stop drinking for a week.
Boy, I just got to give you a lot of credit for Kennedy. Your daughter is just amazing, and your oldest daughter too. But
Thank you.
the baby girl and your son, you've done a good job.
Thank you.
I
man.
mean, thank God they have mothers.
The mothers, right?
Because they are. How do you get 3 successful children?
Ain't that something? But let me tell you who the real success is. And by the way, why in the hell was I not invited or notified about my daughter's graduation?
She told me that she thought I had notified you. Yep. And so she went to Howard. They say it's the real HU. And I'm just wondering. I know Paige and Logan says that there's another real HU.
Really? What's that?
I don't know.
Is that Hampton? I love me some Hampton. Listen, my first love was from Hampton.
Oh,
man,
okay.
Man, she was a terpsichorean.
Oh, okay.
A dancer.
Yeah.
You know what a terpsichorean is, right?
Ken Duncan has a way with words.
Oh man, look here.
Is that the University of Chicago in you, or what?
That's that Morehouse.
All right.
Dear old Morehouse, dear old Morehouse, we have pledged our lives to thee.
They got a co-ed dorm coming.
Man, look here.
Did you read about it? They got
All
a co-ed dorm with Spelman.
Really?
It's built.
Oh, well, okay.
Are you speechless? I mean, what if it was like that when you were there?
Man, look here. There's been a lot of pregnancies and stuff. I can tell you that right now. We have to take a break because we have other guests coming on. But State Representative, soon to be my Congressman, LaShawn K. Ford in the studio, man. Thanks so much for stopping by, man.
Thank you. I look forward to your wisdom as the congressman. I need you.
Right, you can need me even more so right now.
Yes.
All right, y'all heard it, Congressman Ford. Brother Wall, we see you. Brother Wall says, "What's up?" Let's take a break. We'll be back here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hope you're having a fantastic Friday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's happening in your local and national news. Illinois House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch says he never promised Chicago public schools $150 million in additional state funding. He says his comments refer to supporting education funding statewide, not a specific commitment to CPS. School officials warn that without the money, the district could face mid-year budget cuts after approving an unbalanced budget. Another news above Billiken Parade is this weekend. Bronzeville will be a who's who of dignitaries, politicians, entertainers, community activists, and dozens of beautiful floats, bands, and dancers. WVON's intern, Kayla Patton, has more on what to expect.
The beloved Bud Billiken Parade kicks off tomorrow for its 97th year and will showcase some of the best and brightest of Chicago talent. The celebration marks the start of a new academic year with excitement and resources. WVON's Rufus Williams exclusively interviewed the Grand Marshal for this year's parade, Lisa Ray McCoy, on what an honor it is to be part of the parade's legacy.
Because people don't understand how big and how important and how I am so emotional about this. To them, it's a parade that they've seen on TV every year because it's the back to school program. It is the celebration to say, yes, education is important still. You've had summer. Now it's time to buckle down and get focused, and we're going to do it again next year, bigger and better.
The parade route will start on 39th Street and King Drive to 51st Street at 10 a.m. with the Post-Parade Festival happening in Washington Park. It will feature local vendors, face painting, and groups focused on youth empowerment. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, President Trump says negotiations with Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz are continuing, and a deal could be reached soon. He said the U.S. maintains military control over the waterway and continues to blockade Iranian ports while talks proceed. Trump also rejected claims that the U.S. military is running low on ammunition, saying the country has an ample supply. And the first U.S.-approved flu vaccine for more older people for the upcoming season is approved. The FDA has signed off on the Moderna version of adults 50 to 64 and is expected to be available this fall. The FDA already approved a flu vaccine for adults 65 and older. Side effects include pain at the injection site, fatigue, joint pain, and headaches. There are about 300,000 flu deaths annually worldwide. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
It's Rufus Williams. The thrill of summer is finally here, which also means it'll be over before we know it. This fall, the Rufus Williams Travel Club is heading to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Join me as we experience the beauty, the brilliance, and the culture of one of America's most captivating cities. We'll enjoy the charm of the Lowcountry, breathtaking scenery, incredible cuisine, and the rich African-American history of Charleston. There will also be a few special surprises designed just for our group. So whether you're traveling alone, with family, or with friends, you'll be welcomed into an unforgettable experience filled with great people and great memories. Space is limited, and the best rates are right now. Simply go to WVON.com, click on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and reserve your space. Advantage International is the official travel partner of the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Travel with people, travel with purpose, travel with us.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-575-8935. 800-575-8935. That's 800-575-8935.
Greetings, WVON family. It's your brother and friend, Bomani Obadeli of the Activist Hour. Join me on Saturday mornings as we discuss a holistic and public health approach to addressing community violence. We will also be discussing ways that we can create a safe, peaceful, economically thriving, and healthy communities. Join me Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on WVON for the Activist Hour.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Hope you're staying cool. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic 27 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, slow go 17 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94, slow moving traffic due to road work 19 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State. Stop and go traffic 45 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfdale Post Office, stop and go traffic 41 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, there is a disabled vehicle causing the left lane to be blocked. Kennedy, south of Madison Street, 53 minutes. And Eden's, Montchose Cook, please be cautious. There is an accident. US 41 before Half Day Road, 17 minutes. Weather for today, Chicago. Stray showers, high of 79 and a low of 67. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 86 and a low of 68. It's currently 86 degrees. And partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago WVON 1698.
And now back to former State Representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's so bad.
This neighbor, who only wanted to be identified as V, tells us she's lived directly behind South Chicago Chapel near 95th and Exchange Avenue for about a year and has constantly experienced what she describes as a disturbing smell.
Like a dead mouse. Like, it stinks.
According to the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, the funeral home director's license was suspended because of deplorable conditions, including rodent infestation, causing decomposition and maggot infestation of the bodies. According to the Secretary of State website, the business license of South Chicago Chapel, which is active, lists Clark Morgan as president. We know his wife, Joanna Morgan, was a funeral director here as late as May of 2025. Her license suspended just yesterday.
We stopped by to get someone. We don't know what's going on at the moment.
CBS News Chicago was there as staff from Emmanuel Funeral Home and Cremation Services arrived to retrieve a body from South Chicago Chapel, unaware of the investigation.
Wow. I'm in disbelief that we are revisiting this issue, yet still this horrifying discovery, quite frankly, of bodies and funeral homes being damn caught in this condition. I can go on and on because when I was in office, this was a major blowout. But here we are today. You know, life definitely does repeat itself, and we're definitely so fortunate to have Cindy Hernandez. She is a reporter with the Chicago Sun-Times, and she has took the lead on this here. Cindy Hernandez, welcome to the Talk of Chicago. Hey, Cindy, did we get her?
Yes.
Okay, all right, we got it. Okay, good. You had me on mute probably. Thank you so much for your story, this horrifying, pathetic, sad situation here. Tell us about this horrifying discovery on Chicago's southeast side with these more than 50 bodies were found improperly stored and in various stages of decomposition at a South Chicago funeral home. Really leaving families searching for answers as investigators work to identify the victims and determine what went wrong. Talk to us. What's the story? What's the real deal? How'd you run across this? Did you go over there and see it yourself as well?
No, I didn't go down there, but we did learn that from a Chicago police report that state regulators and police were tipped off about several bodies that were not being stored properly at this funeral home. When they arrived yesterday, officers met with the funeral director, Clark Morgan, Morgan accompanied them on a walkthrough of the building, and that is when they discovered that there were several bodies in different areas of the funeral home. The bodies were not refrigerated and were in different stages of decomposition. When officers exited the building, they tried to go back inside, but Morgan told officers that he wasn't going to be letting them back in without a warrant. He ended up blocking the door and left. So then Chicago police officers called the Chicago Fire Department to help them breach the building. Once they were able to access the building, they called the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office to come down to the building, and they began removing the bodies, which they were still doing up to this morning.
Wow. So all right, let's get very specific. Where exactly is this funeral home located? What's the name of it, and who owns it?
Yes, so this is the South Chicago Chapel that is in the far south side of the city. It is owned by Joanna and Clark Morgan. They are a husband and wife duo, and they were the ones who were operating this funeral home.
Jeez. So for bodies to be decomposed or in that situation, were these the people who passed, were they I guess not, were these like homeless folk who didn't have any relatives or families here? Why? Because we were all over when I lost my mother, my other siblings, etc. Typically families are on top of this, either by way of a cremation or at least a burial.
Absolutely not. These were the bodies, the remains of people's loved ones who sought the services of this funeral home. We spoke to several families who were trying to track down their relatives who had, recently either held services there or were waiting to hold services, knowing that the bodies of their loved ones were being held at this funeral home. But they were obviously not aware the conditions of this building.
Wow. So the families have been notified. Have you heard from any one of them, their loved ones?
Yes, we've spoken to a few families, but the issues right now is that the medical examiner's office is still trying to sort through these bodies, identify the bodies, and contact the families. So there are several families that are still waiting for answers and to identify their loved ones.
Wow, that is just a horrifying experience. So, I'm curious, what were the neighbors saying? I mean, had they noticed anything unusual or concerning or smell, or since they weren't refrigerated?
Absolutely. Neighbors told us that, there's been sort of a rotting smell emanating from this building for months. Some said that it started last winter. It's gotten so bad that, they've set up traps for flies that they say are coming from that building.
Whoa.
Yes, some neighbors have said that they have tried contacting Chicago police, but it doesn't seem like anything came of it until yesterday. We're still investigating on, what took so long.
So let me ask, what's the funeral home's history? I mean, were there previous complaints or inspections or warning signs that you discovered or may have found out?
Yes. So this husband and wife duo, Joanne and Clark Morgan, actually operated a crematory in Chicago Heights. It was called the Heights Crematory that was actually shut down last year after investigators found bodies being improperly stored and hundreds of cremated remains that had never been returned to the families. So Illinois Comptroller Susana Mendoza's office actually shut down that operation last year. Her office said that, bodies were stacked up on top of each other. They were not refrigerated and were exposed. And cremations were being delayed, and, the record keeping was just not up to date. It's still unclear why the Morgans were able to operate another business after the crematory was shut down last year.
So, so the agency, obviously and I recall under Quinn, this was an issue that we had to jump all over. So State Comptroller Susana Mendoza's office is the lead agency with this investigation.
Actually, no. Who is investigating this is the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation. They are the ones who issue
licenses.
licenses and discipline funeral directors and embalmers, and they're the ones who investigate all of these operational issues.
Okay. All right. So let me ask this right here. What were the biggest unanswered questions that you continue to follow with this particular situation, and what should family members? Actually, you know what? We have to take a break here, Cindy. We'll be back here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
More with Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic 28 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80 2-minute delay, 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80 94, some moving traffic due to road work, 20 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive, to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic 50 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftown Post Office, stop and go traffic 41 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftown Post Office, update 42 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare. There is a disabled vehicle causing the left lane to be blocked. Kennedy at Madison Street, 57 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose St. Cook, smooth sailing, 17 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago. Evening storms possible. I-86 and a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. For Bud Billiken Parade, I-84 and a low of 67. It's currently 86 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690.
And now back to former State Representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, Chicago. We are back here on the Talk of Chicago 1690. And on our live line is Chicago Sun-Times reporter Cindy Hernandez. Cindy, I'm curious, what are families who were affected by this dereliction of duty, this gross and horrifying discovery? What have they been? What are there? Have you learned if there's any sort of recompense or if there's a lawsuit possibly? They're pending criminal charges. How are they, or how can they be positively impacted, if you can call it as such? What is their sort of recourse at this point that you know of?
Yeah, at this point, everything is still sort of under investigation, so not clear on what next steps are. From the families that we've spoken, all they really want is just to find their loved one and lay them to rest. That's from what we've heard from any family member that we've spoken to since all of this happened yesterday. You know, they really just want to find their loved ones at the moment.
Yeah, that is that's a very, very unfortunate situation, and I'm surprised why. Why is this only on the South Side? I know the last one, about 12 years or so ago, give or take, was on the South Side as well. Is this sort of a universal situation, or it's just not being covered or reported?
No, we're not sure. That's something that we're still investigating. How the management of these funeral homes is, being overlooked. We don't know what exactly is going on here, so that's something that we're still looking into.
Yeah, this is very, very good and responsible journalism, Cindy. So you typically follow stories like this here. What's your typical beat?
Yeah, I'm a general assignment reporter, so I'm covering all sorts of things for the Sun-Times. Anything from breaking news, like what happened yesterday, to education. Sometimes I'm out at court, so really anything can be thrown my way.
Speaking of education, I mean, by the way, Karen, I see you. JT, I see you. What is this? If you were to sum it up to someone that, say, lives in another city or another state, how would you describe the Chicago Board of Education scenario, especially on the funding tip?
There's always a lot going on with, Chicago Public Schools and the school board. Just anything from up top, from the mayor's office to teachers. There's, seems to always be something going on there.
But in terms of the amount of money, what's the real number that there's a potential deficit?
I haven't really been covering this topic, so I have to defer this question to some of our other education reporters who are really on top of this stuff all the time.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Hernandez with the Chicago Sun-Times. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Talk of Chicago.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. All right. I'm going to go to callers right now because I know Karen. I'm going to go with Karen, then JT. Hey, Karen, hello there, young lady. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. I was hoping I'd catch LaShawn to say good day to both of you gentlemen, and really to LaShawn because he finally stepped in and came to an event regarding Johnny Savory, and he said to me he did not know it was that many innocent people that had been in prison for so long. And he said, well, I never knew it was like this. So I wanted to commend him for that. And then you all asked the question about light skin or dark skin.
Yeah.
How about just bring back a man
of
integrity?
Yeah.
The men of integrity, for real. And then another thing I want to say is, the Bud Billiken Parade and many other things, why do we always go to Hollywood to get some of our people that went to Hollywood and came back to be frontliner instead of a person like Johnny Savory who made it through a tough life? Because our children need to see that no matter what goes on in life, if you keep the right path, you'll win. Because what does the word Hollywood mean? When wood is hollow, what does that mean? It's empty. So we don't break these words down. And then I want you to think about this with that conversation with the funeral. Everybody really think, do you really believe that they're making new caskets every time there's a funeral? And then let's think about this. Do you really believe that many people are missing and nobody say anything? Please wake up, Chicago. Please wake up. And I just want to say this. If we would focus on us, turn from our wicked ways and our lustful cravings, and just be obedient and quit chasing the 2 pieces of paper, we will see a difference. Until then, we're about to be in trouble because guess what? America is a business, and America did a lot of dirty stuff to make it a business like it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like growing up in a drug dealer's house, and you live the good life. But at some point, that house is gonna pay. So I just tell you right now, y'all better not take Trump for a joke because it's over. Trump is about to announce that America is a business and the real owners of this land is the indigenous people, but only for those who know who they are. I love you.
All right. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. JT, you are on the Talk of Chicago. What says you?
Hey, good evening, Ken.
Very well, man. How you coming, brother?
All right.
Oh, by the way, just heads up, everybody. Dr. Willie Wilson is coming up next. Dr. Willie Wilson, who is about to jump in this mayor's race, so get excited, get ready. But go ahead, JT.
And I hope he wins. Yeah, but anyway, about this funeral home. Now, let me ask you this, Ken. You got over 50 people that's missing. Well, 50 people that bodies is there, right?
Right.
You got 50 families that's either one of the two. Either they committed fraud by saying that they cremated those bodies and gave those people some ashes from whatever they did, and those bodies was remained there. Because I can't see over 50 families having came to the news way before then, and they said they've been smelling these since December of last year. Come on now, something's wrong with this picture.
You know what? That's what I was trying to get at from Cindy. It's like, we were all on top of our family situation from cremation to burial. So what do you think is the situation, JT?
No, what I think it is like what I said. What they did, they was taking money for cremation and didn't cremate those bodies and were giving those people ashes to whatever they burned. And those bodies stacked up over time. That's what I believe. I don't believe that.
Why wouldn't they want to burn or cremate the bodies?
Because either they didn't want to pay to get it done. Because remember, their facility got shut down.
I don't see.
Their cremation facility got shut down.
Oh, the one out in Fort Heights, she said.
There you go, right. So they didn't have means to cremate those bodies.
Oh, now it's starting to add up.
So you got all these bodies that's stacking up, and these people thinking that they're getting ashes from their loved ones, and they're probably getting burnt wood.
Yeah, ain't that something? Or from other cremation scenarios.
No, I can't say from other cremations. The reason why I say that because other than that, they would have cremated those folks. That's why they stacked up. So many of the bodies stacked up because they didn't have the cremation facility anymore, and they couldn't do those that particular task.
Interesting. That makes sense. Well, it's going to come to a head, and that situation is something that people will not let you get past. That's something that's very, very deep and quite significant. So, all right, I appreciate you, JT.
It's definitely it's horrible. Just think that this is horrible.
Man, look, I have no words for people who do stuff like this here. Just.
If you have no respect for the dead, I can imagine how you treat the living.
Absolutely. All right, y'all heard from JT. Thank you, my brother. All right. So up next, and by the way, callers, I see you, Brother Art, Brother Hall, James. I see you. But we have Dr. Willie Wilson, who is going to be the next mayor of Chicago, coming on WVON. So get excited. We'll be back here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Good afternoon, Summertime Shy. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. SIU Foundation pays $2.2 million to cancel dorm project. Families seek longer sentence in fatal DUI crash. World's longest yard sale underway, and Ye sued over alleged unpaid AI production work. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Discover a new podcast from our library of hundreds of thousands of titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
Go behind the crime scenes of one of England's most notorious modern murders. In the companion podcast to HBO Max's true crime drama, The Murders at White House Farm, You'll hear from those involved in the making of the series and the real-life events on which the drama is based.
Follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one app.
The Black Information Network.
Follow us on social media at the Black Information Network. Listen online at BINnews.com or tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network on iHeartRadio.
BIN News this hour. I'm Andrea Coleman. Coming up.
Hanging is an activity, crime, that should never be an issue of being accepted by the public.
Another mysterious death, another hanging in Mississippi of a black person. This time, a local black leader is turning to the federal government for help. And
abortion surveillance is absolutely a critical component of what the CDC is currently doing. To your point, it may be moved to another agency within HHS.
A reproductive rights advocate voices concern about the CDC's new black leader promising to increase abortion surveillance. But first, here's BIN News Now.
Voters in Tennessee, they made their voices heard in yesterday's primary elections. And with those ballots now counted, U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn has emerged as Tennessee's Republican nominee for governor after defeating Congressman John Rose and State Representative Monty Fritz. She now faces Memphis City Councilwoman Jerry Green in the general election. No matter the outcome, either way, it's going to be historic. For the first time in Tennessee's history, it will have a female governor. The Trump administration has been ordered by a federal appeals court to turn off the drills in the construction of the White House Ballroom project. In a 2-to-1 order issued today, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia upheld an injunction won by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. The organization has sued over the project after the administration tore down the East Wing without authorization from Congress. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the free iHeartRadio app. I'm Mike Island with BIN News Now.
Thank you, Mike. A black city councilman in Jackson, Mississippi is asking federal authorities for help after a woman was found hanging from a tree in the city. The body of 29-year-old Tasia Fortune, who was black, was discovered August 3rd in the backyard of a vacant home. Councilman Kenneth Stokes says he is trying to learn more about Fortune and determine whether the case was a homicide.
Hanging must never be an acceptable behavior. Whether you're talking about someone white, hanging somebody black, hanging somebody white, or somebody black, hanging somebody black. It's wrong. It's bad.
Stokes says he has asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to look into the case and plans to meet with the Jackson Fire Chief about the response. The discovery of Fortune's body comes as the investigation into the death of Mississippi teen Nolan Wells continues. The 18-year-old black teen's body was found on July 6th on Horn Island, Mississippi, 2 days after he attended a party on the island with a group of all-white friends. What's more, this is the third hanging of a black person in the state in less than a year. Last September, the body of 21-year-old DeMar Travion Reed was found hanging from a tree on the campus of Delta State University. And that same day, the body of 35-year-old Curtis Zucaitis was found hanging in a wooded area in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Authorities say those two incidents were unrelated and have listed both as suicides. Abortion rights advocates are spotlighting comments made by Dr. Erica Schwartz, the newly confirmed head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. During her confirmation hearing 3 weeks ago, Schwartz committed to increasing surveillance of abortions in states where they are monitored.
Also make sure that certain states are not conflating emergency services and hiding abortions in that emergency services case definition. We need to make sure we're pulling out true abortions and making sure that we're really having clear case definitions regarding abortion so the data is actually accurate.
The head of an abortion rights group issued a statement yesterday calling Schwartz an extremist and saying the confirmation cements her anti-abortion agenda at the center of the CDC's work rather than containing outbreaks and keeping the public safe. Minnie Chimarajo also vowing Republicans who supported Schwartz's confirmation will have to answer to their constituents. Schwartz was confirmed 2 days ago, becoming the first black woman to lead the organization. This is BIN News this hour. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Andrea Coleman on the Black Information Network, home of Black News First.
Girl, where have you been?
My laundry got backed up.
I had so much laundry I felt like the help, but I found the truth.
You became a Jehovah's Witness?
I found Clean Break. For less than the price of a good meal, Clean Break washed and folded my clothes and had them smelling fresh the way I like.
It's gotta be inexpensive. You know all the hookups.
Darn Skippy. I wasn't about to pay no $100 for 2 bags of clothes, and I caught the WVON discount.
Girl, sign me up. I'm sold.
Try Clean Break today for just $25 per bag, including pickup and delivery. Call 708-980-7886 or visit cleanbreak.com. That's KLEANBREAK.com. Clean Break, fresh clothes, more free time. Get your weekends back.
So fresh and so clean, break.
This August, renew your spirit only on Vine TV. Watch Behind Our Walls, a powerful documentary following incarcerated men pursuing a college education through the Calvin Prison Initiative. It's an inspiring story of determination, redemption, and the transformative power of second chances.
There's a lot of bad things that happen in prison. It's a dark place. You have all the time in the world. So you can either become a better human being or you become a worse human being. And the choice is yours.
Then spend time with Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and friends. Uplifting conversations about wellness, self-care, resilience, and living with intention. August on Vine TV offers stories that stay with you long after they're over. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at Vaughn.tv. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. We've made it through the work week. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Van Ryan, downtown at 95th. Stop and go traffic, 26 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, slow go, 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94, slow go due to road work, 22 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive. For the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 36 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfville Post Office, stop and go traffic, 45 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, there is a disabled vehicle causing the left lane to be blocked. Kennedy, south of Madison Street, 54 minutes. And Eden's, Montrose Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 18 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago. Evening storms possible, high of 86 and a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. For the Bud Billiken Parade, high of 84 and a low of 67. It's currently 86 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the icon of American radio, WVON, for in Chicago.
It's former state representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right now, Chicago. It's Friday here on the Talk of Chicago. And Robert, you jamming over there, brother. I done rubbed off on you. I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is political season. This is where not only are we having a November election on a national level for Congress and U.S. Senate, for governor, etc., but which is statewide. But we're gearing up. People are gearing up all across the city of Chicago to run for alderman. Some are going for re-election. And, of course, the prize seat of it all, and that is the 5th floor in the City Hall of Chicago, our City Hall. And on our live line is Chicago businessman and philanthropist, Dr. Willie Wilson, who is making another run for the City Hall. Another run. Yep. Dr. Wilson officially announced that he is entering the 2027 mayoral race, promising an independent, which I love, and business-minded approach, which I really love, as he seeks to unseat Mayor Brandon Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome business owner who is famous for being one of the first Black McDonald's franchisees, owner, and giving away millions of dollars in gas cards and grocery cards, our very own Dr. Willie Wilson. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate that introduction, you know?
Well, hey, Doc, you are, you can hear it in my voice, my bias. You are a person that is synonymous with giving, with being engaged with the city of Chicago. Why is it that people should roll with you again in this mayoral election race?
Well, first of all, I believe Chicago deserves better leadership. Leadership that put resident before special interest and political agenda. Yeah. And then the next thing is that the situation we have, Chicago, high concern about crime,
yes,
unemployment high, grocery prices, gas, rent, overall cost of living, and the other thing is like our education system. Our kids should not be able to pass from one grade to the next grade unless they know how to read and write. So it's a lot of things that I am really dissatisfied of how some things are going. Chicago teaches leadership, and I say leadership. The Chicago Teacher Union leadership. I hold them responsible for passing those young men and young ladies from one grade to the next grade, and they can't read or write. Some of them, period, and others can't read up to the standard of the school system.
So, Dr. Wilson, and those are a number of points that I want to take a deep dive into, and I'm going to take calls as well. In about 30 minutes, folks. So Tommy, Brother Hall, Art, and James, I see you. Why is it that we've allowed the Chicago public schools and teachers to pass people on or graduate them, and they can't read or write or do math, basic math, Doctor? Is that something that you and I don't know?
Well, most of it about economic. When I work a job, or some of my customers, if I work a job and not doing my job the right way, I get fired. And then if I got customers don't service the customer the right way, I get fired or let go. And I've been now asked for a raise and not doing my job right. So these the leadership, and there's a lot of good teachers in Chicago, but it is the leadership. I would be too ashamed as a leadership to ask for an increase in pay if I'm not putting out a good product. Either kids read and write and math.
Right.
Yeah.
That's that.
So,
go ahead.
That is what I'm concerned about. The politics of this whole situation, and see when you put these young men and young ladies out here can't read or write, it's a pipeline right around the prison.
Absolutely. And you are known for going to the Cook County jail and bailing people out who can't even afford to, bail themselves out. So you have a direct there. You know what? Thanks for making that correlation. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. We're on the live line right now with Dr. Willie Wilson. He is going to be the next mayor of Chicago. We're excited of his candidacy. He walks the walk. He is a person who really knows and loves this city of Chicago. I'm excited to talk with him. We'll be back here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
More with Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Summer is here, the season of sunshine, swimming, picnics, and the freedom to have fun and enjoy yourself. United Fidelity Bank believes freedom starts with smart savings. Whether you're hanging with friends and family or enjoying a summer night, your money should still be working for you. Open a United Fidelity Bank 18-month certificate of deposit with a 4.35% annual percentage yield. It's a simple, steady way to grow your savings, letting your money work for you. At United Fidelity Bank, they focus on you, your needs, your goals, your questions. Their personal service is something you will not find at a big box bank. Get the experience you need and the service you deserve. Stop by their Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street to open your 18-month 4.35% APY CD today. Or visit UnitedFidelity.com. United Fidelity Bank, where your summer of smart savings begins.
Rate subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically to the standard rate and effect at the time of renewal, unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
This summer, experience live music under the stars at Ravinia, everybody. Gladys Knight, Brian McKnight are going to headline, and they'll be joined by Chance the Rapper, and a special opening night gala performance featuring Lizzo with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. See great performances all season long, from legendary voices to hometown favorites. Ravinia brings unforgettable sounds to the summer stage. Get your tickets now at ravinia.org.
It's Rufus Williams.
Chris, good morning. Welcome to VON.
Ain't no jive on the morning drive with Rufus Williams. Thank you, brother.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
And now back to former State Representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, Chicago, we are black here. And on our live line is none other than Chicago's very own Dr. Willie Wilson, who has announced that he is running for mayor of the city of Chicago. Hey, Doc, what does it mean to be an independent candidate, even though it's a nonpartisan election? But what is that? What's your mindset? You don't want to raise taxes. You want to make the city of Chicago business friendly. What is it that we need to understand in terms of understanding Dr. Willie Wilson's, this is your third or fourth time in this run here. What should we understand? What should we get? What should we do as it relates to you being the next mayor?
Well, first of all, what we have to take and do, in my opinion, to understand where I'm coming from, is that I am definitely pro-business. And when you're pro-business, you're pro-community. Because if you don't have business, your tax base, your taxes goes up. People leave the city.
Yep.
Business leave the city, and you'll mess around and have a city that is only for the wealthy. And so the business foundation, economic, set the pace for people to make a living. So that is what we have to try to do. And I focus on my expertise is business. We have a worldwide business that we started with like $0, dollars per se. And we in countries like China, Vietnam, Australia, of course here in the United States, Egypt, Israel. And those jobs pays people here in America. All of my employees average about close to it, 125,000 at least, the average pay.
Nice.
So that's Joe's job to make a living, you know. So we average that now, about 125,000 a year, and some make more than that. And so you have to understand one thing: we just can't have our young men and young ladies can't read and write. We have to be able to have our young men and young ladies to do business not only in Chicago but around the United States, but also international as well. The United States is only like 5% of the world, you know. So we need to build an economic empowerment in base. But being free, independent, you don't have to really, what it means to me, take orders from anyone to dictate to you what to do and have to be worried about, am I going to get fired? Am I going to have to drop my kids out of school? Or am I going to be able to feed my family? Or I have to say things that I don't want to say, you know, that will please somebody.
So are you saying
freedom to me mean all of that, you know?
Absolutely. So you're saying you wouldn't be beholden to the Chicago Teachers Union or SEIU unions?
Say that again.
So are you saying that you would not be beholden to any particular union, such as Chicago Teachers Union, SEIU?
No. The only person I'll be beholden to, that I am beholden to, that's Jesus Christ himself.
Okay. All right. Say that, Doc. So let me ask.
The only person that I am beholden to, that's Jesus Christ himself.
Love that. Love it. So, you know, some of the mayor's challenges include not having 25 votes to pass some of his key legislation, his budget, and now this property renters owners ordinance that he put out there. What would Dr. Willie Wilson do to build confidence amongst city council members to pass basic or key pieces of ordinances or legislation?
Well, put it this way. A lot of those membership understand when they voted them down when they were trying to put the head tax.
Head tax, yep.
On the business.
Amusement tax.
Right. That drive business out of the city, and that drive job out of the city. And so those other particular aldermen understand that, a lot of them. That's why they keep voting it down. And then you have to be a mayor to all citizens, not only the Chicago Teacher Union, but to all citizens. You have to be a mayor friendly to the people. You have to be a mayor friendly to the businesses. You have to have common sense. And look, I ain't criticizing nobody, but common sense to me is being these things what I'm talking about now. Common sense is not letting our kids finish school and can't read and write. So don't care what nobody say. The pressure things, more things we have is our young men and our young ladies. You know, common sense is making sure that you got billions of dollars contract in the city of Chicago, and the minority community not getting its fair share. You make sure that you have a plan together to get there. It's something like Mayor Washington did in his short time with being the mayor. When he left, I think it was about 35% of those contracts were to minorities.
Yep.
You know, but you ain't got common sense, then that's that. You don't. My mother always told me, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. You know, and so the businesses and the community tribe of economic Mission Avenue is based on holding up the whole city of Chicago because of the dollars come down there. We got to look far beyond Mission Avenue. We got to look into our neighborhood and make sure we develop that. I would take for example, let's just take one example, the Chicago Housing Authority. Those contracts are given by people. A lot of them is given by people outside of Chicago, those major ones. You know, look, you put up businesses with the community there. People do landscaping, people do the plumbing, all those things can bring in economic empowerment into the community. You could take the CTA and you could take them build a training program in there, take those young men, young ladies, teach them how to be mechanic of those buses, and then give them a contract. Common sense tells you to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out here. And just so you know, callers, at the end of the break, I'm gonna take James, Art, Tommy, Brother Hall, and Brother Chris. But you're gonna have to ask questions. You're gonna have to ask questions. This is a very serious man who is taking on a very serious endeavor. Dr. Willie Wilson, the city of Chicago does not have any influence down in Springfield, Illinois. What would you do to change that, or how would you approach that?
Well, I always learn in business and sitting on different boards and things that I've sat in down through the years. You have to get with people one-on-one and work it out first before you bring anything to a vote.
Yes.
If you want friends, you have to be friends. But you have to have that conversation and know, look, out of all the people that represent us in Springfield, represent us downtown, they want special things for their particular neighborhood. The African-American wants special things in the neighborhood. The white wants special things in the neighborhood. The Latino wants special things in their neighborhood, because all those neighborhoods got different problems, and you have to adjust to it, because if you don't adjust to it, then those are different problems that people are not going to vote for you to get everything that you want. So you have to work out, give and take, and compromise. You don't win by getting a vote passed, and let's say if it's 12 votes, 11 votes. You don't win if out of them 11 votes, that if you got 8 of them and you pass it, but you got 4 or 5 people didn't vote for it, that's not a winner. You got to get at least 95% of it, but it's not 100%, because now you got 4 or 5 people that is mad and ain't got nothing back to its citizen that they represent, and that creates problems. For example, look, particularly in the African American and Latino community, the lead and the pipes. Well, we don't hear about the lead and pipe like, say, most places downtown and some of those upscale places like that. So then you got to relate different. They got different problems, but all of them, is important.
Yes.
And the other thing, and let me just say this too, is that this money situation. That's why I don't allow nobody to give me big money or union and things like that to control me. This other guy, if you know what I'm talking about, got all these millions and millions of dollars. Well, he already controlled by the special interest group. I'm not. I spend my own money. I don't answer to nobody. I'll answer to the people, but I do it pro bono, free of charge.
Oh, you've proven yourself time and time again with giving away millions of your own money, not in COVID, masks and whatnot, to groceries, to gas. You have to bailing people out of jail who couldn't afford to bail themselves out. So your credibility is top tier in my book. That's just your record. That speaks for yourself. So for you not to be a selfish businessman speaks volumes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live on the line with Dr. Willie Wilson. When we come back, we're going to take callers. And the callers, it's going to go like this. It's going to go James, Brother Hall, Art, Tommy, Brother Chris, and Cliff. You got the phones lit up, Dr. Wilson. We'll be back here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
We made it through the work week, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's what's happening in your local and national news. The Southern Illinois University Foundation paid $2.2 million to cancel a planned student housing development after the project faced challenges. The decision comes as older Greek row housing buildings continue to deteriorate and campus officials consider future housing needs. The canceled development was part of broader efforts to address student living conditions at SIU. Another news, the Bud Billiken Parade is this weekend. Bronzeville will be a who's who of dignitaries, politicians, entertainers, community activists, and dozens of beautiful floats, bands, and dancers. WVON's intern, Kayla Patton, has more on what to expect.
The beloved Bud Billiken Parade kicks off tomorrow for its 97th year and will showcase some of the best and brightest of Chicago talent. The celebration marks the start of a new academic year with excitement and resources. WVON's Rufus Williams exclusively interviewed the Grand Marshal for this year's parade, Lisa Ray McCoy, on what an honor it is to be part of the parade's legacy.
Because people don't understand how big and how important and how I am so emotional about this. To them, it's a parade that they've seen on TV every year because it's the back to school program. It is the celebration to say, yes, education is important still. You've had summer. Now it's time to buckle down and get focused, and we're going to do it again next year, bigger and better.
The parade route will start on 39th Street and King Drive to 51st Street at 10 a.m. with the Post-Parade Festival happening in Washington Park. It will feature local vendors, face painting, and groups focused on youth empowerment. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, families of two teens killed in a 2024 crash on Chicago's Eisenhower Expressway are criticizing the driver's 11-year prison sentence. Ashanti Gates pleaded guilty in the case, but relatives of victims Eric Cox and Shaylin Sherwood say the punishment was not severe enough. They are calling for a longer sentence, citing the loss of the teens and concerns about the defendant's actions before sentencing. And the 127-yard sale, also known as the world's longest yard sale, is taking place across multiple states. Beginning in Michigan, the event runs 690 miles through Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia before ending in Alabama. It gives the public the chance to stay off of busy highways and instead enjoy scenic routes through small towns and rural communities. The world's longest yard sale runs through Sunday, and for more information, visit 127yardsale.com.
Treated me like an orphan. The fact turned me to Daddy Warbucks. The stables for the Rarries and Porsches. The fame was only getting me more buzz.
And Ye is facing a lawsuit from an anonymous music producer who claims he was not paid for AI-related work on the Vultures 2 and Bully albums. The producer alleges he created custom AI voice models and hundreds of AI-generated vocal recordings that were used on multiple tracks. He is seeking $110,000 in damages, and Ye has not publicly responded to the lawsuit. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Vaughn TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Vaughn TV. It's cultural content on purpose.
Greetings, WVON family. It's your brother and friend, Bomani Obedelli of the Activist Hour. Join me on Saturday mornings as we discuss a holistic and public health approach to addressing community violence. We will also be discussing ways that we can create a safe, peaceful, economically thriving, and healthy communities. Join me Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on WVON for the Activist Hour.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. And Ryan, downtown on 95th, stop and go traffic 22 minutes. I-57, Ryan I-80, slow go 17 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan I-80, 94, slow go due to road work 21 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive, to the Tri-State, stop and go traffic 36 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolftown Post Office, stop and go traffic 38 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, bumper to bumper traffic, an hour and 5 minutes due to a disabled vehicle causing the left lane to be blocked. And Eden's, Manchester, Cook, smooth sailing 14 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, evening storms possible. High of 86 and a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy for Bud Billiken Parade. High of 84 and a low of 67. It's currently 86 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
And now back to former State Representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Dr. Willie Wilson, that's your theme song, brother, right there. That's you 100%. Dr. Willie Wilson live with us on WVON. Man, look here. Pay the cost to be the boss. Pay the cost. Look at me. I'm a bad brother, Dr. Willie Wilson. Man, look. I respect people who walk the walk. And I don't care what people say. Dr. Willie Wilson walks the walk with his own resources. He takes care of his staff. And, you know, on this Facebook Live, now, y'all need to be nice now. Be nice, right? I want us to respect this brother who has done more in this city from any candidate that would be out there. So we're going to give Dr. Willie Wilson even more deference, quite frankly. So I'm going to go to these calls, and I know that we got some great questions. Brother James, you're on the Talk of Chicago with Dr. Wilson. What says you?
Good afternoon.
Hey, James, can you come to the phone? Can you come closer to the phone, big brother? Thanks.
I'm saying I cannot see any relevance of a Willie Wilson candidacy. I don't see the reason. He said he talked about a lot of problems, but no solution. There's nothing he can do as a mayor in Chicago to solve the problems he spoke about. I believe he'll be better served opening a trade school. What say you?
All right, let's let him respond to that, Brother James.
So my response is this here. Whoever the brother is, I spent a lot of money helping it, but be honest with you, what has he done? Have he spent millions of dollars, brother, on the community without even writing off for a tax benefit? Have he done that? Frankly, well, let me say this. Frankly, Ken, and I'll be blunt about it. I don't. Frankly, is this here?
Let him respond, James.
Well, frankly, if he's not putting his money where his mouth at, when people was out here with face masks and dying, I gave away about $100 million in face masks. I give away every penny I make. I could pretty much care less what this brother is saying because I ain't got time for talk that we've been doing since slavery and ain't putting their money where their mouth at to help people out. Did he spend $100,000 or $200,000 on that and helping his senior citizen what we do now? helping people with gasoline, spend millions and millions of dollars. Don't get mad because he don't have a business, don't have the money. You get out here and you do. My thing was like a 7th grade education. He may have a college degree, but I do far more than that, and I probably make more than him.
Oh,
that's all I got to say. This brother.
Hey, look here, he dropped the mic. You heard Dr. Wilson? He said, look, I got a 7th grade education. I give. Look here. Hey man, y'all don't sleep on this guy. Y'all, this is Dr. Willie Wilson. This ain't no punk now. Go ahead, Brother Hall.
He's not new to the game. He's true to the game.
You know, you heard him.
Hey, Dr. Wilson, man, thank you, brother, for all that you do. I got some brothers that I talk to from the Viaduct. Want to tell you thank you. They love you. Keep up the good spirit from a dry bones perspective, brother. You know, we're gonna get the folk who come with the crank stuff, but we understand how to deal with that. We put that in God's hands, man. That's why you're going the way you're going. That's right. That's why the things that's happening to you right now, Dr. Wilson, is you just look at the math, Ken, and you know you're a statistician. You got more white folks running, which means that gives Dr. Wilson a giant chance to win, brother.
A big chance.
Okay, so don't be fooled out here by the Democratic Party, and I'm a Democrat. But you're not going to slap me. I know who I'm talking to. I know who I trust. And I know from that perspective, that's where I'll be. I mean, you're calling the doc. I'll talk with you later because you got a lot of calls. Thank you, man.
Right on. Appreciate you, brother.
Amen. Thanks, brother.
All right. Hey, Brother Art, you're on the Talk of Chicago with Dr. Willie Wilson. What says you?
Hey, what's going on, young people? Here's the question. The colleges and one of the major black colleges decided they was going to implement a code of conduct and specifically a dress code. And I wanted to know from Dr. Willie Wilson if an institution of so-called higher learning had to institute a code of conduct to students who have 4.0s and supposed to be the best of the best, would he believe that he should follow suit in instituting a community code of conduct for our community specifically? And can he specifically answer when it comes to the educational part, when it comes to the lady who is what's the lady name who comes on talking about the union rep, what's her name, Stacey Gates, and the mayor? Would he use his bully pool pit and every resource that he could to institute trades in all the school? And what is his core platform that he can stand on that we can recite since he wants to run for mayor? I'll leave it there now. And what now? Focus on rebuilding the black family, and may God bless. And what now?
Thank you, Brother Art.
Okay. All right. First of all, let me correct you. You said, since I want to run for mayor, I am running for mayor. Period. And I'm running for mayor for all citizens of the city of Chicago, not just for black, Latina, and minority, but white also. But I'm also realized that we must make sure that the African American, the Latina, Asian American, whatever it may be, to get to a standard where that the tax dollars that they put in this city, put a program together that they can get trade and get up there and make money just like anybody else. You see, minimum wages, you can't even buy health insurance with minimum wages. But you can get trade, and you should have trade to 12th grade. And that's one of my platforms, that before you pass from one grade to the next grade, you should have a trade. So by the time you get to the 12th grade, you got 12 different trades. Because education alone just don't do it. But you also need to do this, and one of my other platforms is that you should have trade within the prison system, Cook County Jail. So when those people get out of Cook County Jail, they got trade, they come out, they can have jobs, not to recycle themselves back into prison because they cannot make a living. And on top of that, with that trade, I would make sure that, look, and work with the people that need to be worked with to make sure that we come down to empowerment. If you got a trade in prison, you come out. Why can't you have a contract with the prison system like the major corporations have? Because we have to empower our people. If we don't get to business empower our people, we always depend on other people. So that's why I would implement the trade from first grade to 12th grade and in the prison system. And also one thing that we have to look at, we got hundreds of, thousands of young men, young ladies, into these homes here in the city of Chicago that have been deserted. I forget what you call them, but they're these homes in Chicago. But you need to make sure that those kids in all their homes, when they get 18, they let out, they got no place to go. We need, if they got out of home, we need trade in that when they get out, that they can get jobs, get contract too. All these billions of dollars that we spent on economic empowerment that the city of Chicago, counting O'Hare, Midway, and everybody else, that the service, those particular services that African American bases represent, let's take 30% of the city of Chicago, we must put a plan together that those people get those contracts. Now, we can't say that you're going to have this contract because you're colored, but you got to have a trade to get it, and we got to put it in place and make sure these things are followed through and done. And we must hold and work with our union. That's a good way to doing it right there, with the union to help give trade to these kids and these young ladies out here because they actually got the contract and the job.
Right.
You should reflect the population that pays the tax dollars to these particular major corporations.
Got it.
So look, if I don't understand nothing, I understand business.
See,
and have a successful business.
Absolutely.
And you ain't gonna beat me on business.
Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a break. We're on the live line with us right now with Dr. Willie Wilson. He's running for mayor. We'll be black here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
More with Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
See something suspicious? Say something. Do not hesitate to call 911. Enjoy the Air and Water Show, and please help the show and the city of Chicago keep it safe.
I'm your Magnolia Blues man, Sir Henry Cheatham, inviting you to join us. WVON 1690 for some real American music and culture. Here on Classic Blues and R&B. Check us out Saturday, 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. on WVON and Classic Blues and R&B.
Ada S. McKinley provides behavioral and mental health services at 4 Southside clinics. They serve people of all ages with a strong focus on therapy, counseling, and youth crisis. Their counselors and mental health professionals are well-trained and experienced in treating problems caused by emotional distress and or trauma. To schedule an appointment, call 312-761-1099 or visit adasmckinley.org.
Early detection saves lives. Ladies, if you're due for a mammogram, don't wait. Breast cancer is most treatable when it's found early. UChicago Medicine makes it easier to take charge of your health. Eligible patients can self-schedule their mammogram online or through MyChart in just minutes. Visit uchicagomedicine.org/memo to schedule your screening. That's uchicagomedicine.org/memo. UChicago Medicine at the forefront.
On the new episode of Mama, I Made It, Chicago made her. Hollywood embraced her. The South Side's own Lisa Ray McCoy sits down with Samantha Chapman for intimate conversation on Mama, I Made It. From her breakout role in the Players Club to becoming a television icon and entrepreneur, Lisa Ray opens up about her career, her Chicago roots, and the journey behind her success. Don't miss this exclusive interview, streaming now on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
And now back to former State Representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
You want me to stay out here around today, be available for you to see. I'm about to go, and then you'll know me to stay here. I got to be me. You'll never be in doubt. That's what it's all about. Can't take me for granted and smile.
Woo! Hey, Dr. Willie Wilson, this is all what Dr. Willie Wilson themed music, brother. This how you need to move through the community. Doc, you got to come out with something splashy with it. Just man, bring that Dr. Wilson swag on, brother. Come on with it. You know, a whole lot of people love and respect you. Now, again, I'm going to say this nicely, callers. I appreciate you calling, but you got to ask a question. If not, I'm going to politely hang up. Hey, Brother Tommy, what say you? You're on the Talk Chicago. What's your question?
Well, you can pretty much politely hang up because my comment or my thing is I don't know why they disrespect Mr. Wilson either, because it seems like to me anytime a man will take the time to put some gas and give you a turkey and then you turn around and won't vote for the man and then have the audacity to ask him to give you the money but don't run, this is why we're in the shape that we are. And for the love of God, man, at some point you would think we would come together on a consensus candidate and stop this nonsense, because all they're doing is running and stacking the deck, and then one of these characters who don't give a damn about us is going to win.
That part.
Now run and tell that. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Right on time. And time was on point today. All right, okay. Brother Chris, you're on the Talk Chicago with Dr. Willie Wilson. What is your question, my brother?
Good afternoon, Brother Duncan, Dr. Wilson. Shout out to the WVON family. Dr. Wilson, I just wanted to, give you some respect, sir. I think your story from where you started and your story is not even done yet. You can give the young people some encouragement of what can happen. Got two questions for you, Dr. Wilson. If you were mayor when the migrant issue came, how would you have handled that? And then also the abysmal, consent decree we got with the police of them accomplishing their goals. You stated you were going to take the handcuffs off. Could you expound and just explain what did you mean by that? And good luck in the race, Dr. Wilson.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Your first question, I've always been one who said this here. I don't put anybody else among the citizens of Chicago. When a migrant came in, illegal at that, came in, I would not support a sanctuary city, because the fact of it is that how can I let someone come into the city itself, or support someone coming into the city itself, when we're losing our home, gasoline is high, then how can I support somebody going to take $1 billion or hundreds of $1 million and give to someone else that you don't know, that didn't vote you into the office, and let us people here suffer and come back and ask the people who are already struggling with their home to pay real estate taxes and things of that nature. I hope that answers your question, because ain't no way I would do this. I can't invite someone to stay with me in my house if I don't have no rooms in my house to allow them to come in. The only way I can do that is that I got room, I got money and food to feed them. Otherwise, that don't work out. I would say this much last on that particular subject is that you vote for me for mayor, I'm representing the citizen of Chicago always first. I got nothing against other things such as people comes into it, but we got laws. We got laws that people comes in the particular right way through law. When I go to China, Egypt, Cairo, Egypt, and those places, I have to be checked out before I can get there. Not only do I need a passport, I got to get a visa too. So the same thing should work for Chicago and America. That's my stand on that.
All right.
Now, as related about the decree for the police department, as you know, I lost a son, 20 years old, by gunshot violence. I'm like this here. When I say about the handcuffs, what I mean by the handcuffs, someone across the street done hit somebody, done robbed somebody, and that person takes and run. I think the police should be allowed to run and catch them, but they're not allowed to run and catch them. Now, those type of things there. I think if somebody's gonna break in my house, I'm gonna call the police, and if that person break in my house and see it and they run out of my house, I think the police should chase them. I think if somebody rape or kill somebody in anybody's family, that they should be caught, pursued, and taken then held accountable for it. I think that the young men and young ladies that come downtown Chicago trying to take over the city or anything else, look, offer opportunity, yes, trade and things that much in school, but you have to be held accountable.
All right. Okay.
That's what I mean by taking out that.
Thank you, Brother Chris. Thank you, Brother Chris. Hey, Cliff, you're on with Dr. Wilson.
Hey, Ken, thanks for taking my call. Mr.
All right,
Wilson,
what's your question?
in reference to minority contracts, now I get it. You want to include everybody, particularly Chicagoans. So does that include white women, Latinos, blacks, Hispanics, all that? That's correct? That's what you're basically saying?
Well, let me put it this way to you here. You got white women considered as minority. You got Asian American considered as minority. Latino considered as minority. I think you have to make it reflect of the population and the dollars that is being paid to each group, what they put into it. That's
okay.
what I meant.
I got you. All right, okay. So now here's my final question. The issue that I have with black Republicans is that they do not address the issues of reparations at all. Give me your thoughts on how you see reparations, and as a mayor, what would you do to contribute to reparations, not towards everybody, but specifically black people, African Americans? How about that?
That's fine. That's a fair question. I think reparations is this: it is that you put trade in school. All right, you put dollars in place that when they take and get into a business contract, let's say, for example, with the business city of Chicago, those dollars in place right there to take them make a loan. And when you make that loan to that particular, African American group that don't have it, whatever it may be, you make that loan available and you lend that money, but you give a contract to them, et cetera, then you pay that particular dollars back with the money that you make. Now, I'm at the city of Chicago. You got to have the bank that the city of Chicago do business with, because let's face it, if you have a white female, and don't get offensive about this, and so some of the white females that listen to this here, but I put it this way to you as well. There's a lot of white females, the white males, and put the business into their name, and they get their business because they're minority.
Yes.
All right, but that ain't the way it should work. It should work. The different nationality should reflect the dollars and the population within it, whether you're white, black, et cetera. That's how, in my opinion, that should work. At one particular time, that the only thing was considered as minority, and we call it back then, that was affirmative action. right? But I'd say this place too, the affirmative action situation that they had, now they made every different thing minority. And until the African American particular is left out, I think that's wrong. I call that reparation right there. I would say this too. Reparation means to me as well is putting Black history back in schools.
Absolutely.
You know?
Right. Hey, Dr. Wilson, I got to cut you
those
off.
things, there other way, economic speaking, and let me say this too, is that I'm not talking about giving somebody $1 million or nothing like that, but you put it in a form of way to take and create trades and jobs that reflect that community. We need economic empowerment in order for the community to strive and keep the violence down and people can raise families.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Willie Wilson, you heard it live from him, and he's looking to be the next mayor. A lot of support out here. He has a lot of support, not just in the Black community. He's walked the walk. Dr. Wilson, I appreciate you. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of the calls, but we're at the top of the hour. My producer's looking over with her arms folded. I got Logan Page looking at me like she want to fight. Thank you so much, Dr. Willie Wilson.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And thank Rep. Duncan. Do invite me back
Absolutely.
to the studio, live in the studio with you, and I'll be glad to answer any question that anybody wants to. I would spend an hour, 2 hours with you to take and answer the question for the citizens of Chicago.
Love it. Thank you, Dr. Willie Wilson. We appreciate and we love you, brother.
Love you too. Thank you.
All right, we're going to listen to the news, the weather, and the traffic with Logan Page.
Let's finish the day strong, listeners, and thank you, Ken Duncan and Dr. Willie Wilson. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Officials work to identify bodies found at a Southside funeral home. Bud Billiken Parade returns this weekend. Ex-Chicago Bear John DeMore dies at age 92. Trump announces push to expand U.S. mining, and Drake hands out over $1 million in gifts to numerous women in his hometown. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Discover a new podcast from our library of hundreds of thousands of titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
Go behind the crime scenes of one of England's most notorious modern murders. In the companion podcast to HBO Max's true crime drama, The Murders at White House Farm, you'll hear from those involved in the making of the series and the real-life events on which the drama is based.
Follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one app.
The Black Information Network.
Follow us on social media at the Black Information Network. Listen online at BINnews.com or tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network on iHeartRadio.
BIN News this hour, I'm Andrea Coleman. Coming up.
Hanging is an activity, crime, that should never be an issue of being accepted by the public.
Another mysterious death, another hanging in Mississippi of a Black person. This time, a local Black leader is turning to the federal government for help. And
abortion surveillance is absolutely a critical component of what the CDC is currently doing. To your point, it may be moved to another agency within HHS.
A reproductive rights advocate voices concern about the CDC's new Black leader promising to increase abortion surveillance. But first, here's BIN News Now.
Voters in Tennessee, they made their voices heard in yesterday's primary elections. And with those ballots now counted, U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn has emerged as Tennessee's Republican nominee for governor after defeating Congressman John Rose and State Representative Monty Fritz. She now faces Memphis City Councilwoman Jerry Green in the general election. No matter the outcome, either way, it's going to be historic. For the first time in Tennessee's history, it will have a female governor. The Trump administration has been ordered by a federal appeals court to turn off the drills in the construction of the White House ballroom project. In a 2-to-1 order issued today, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia upheld an injunction won by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. The organization has sued over the project after the administration tore down the East Wing without authorization from Congress. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the free iHeartRadio app. I'm Mike Island with BIN News Now.
Thank you, Mike. A Black City Councilman in Jackson, Mississippi is asking federal authorities for help after a woman was found hanging from a tree in the city. The body of 29-year-old Tasia Fortune, who was Black, was discovered August 3rd in the backyard of a vacant home. Councilman Kenneth Stokes says he is trying to learn more about Fortune and determine whether the case was a homicide.
Hanging must never be an acceptable behavior. What are you talking about? Someone white hanging somebody black, hanging somebody white, or somebody black hanging somebody black. It's wrong. It's bad.
Stokes says he has asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to look into the case and plans to meet with the Jackson Fire Chief about the response. The discovery of Fortune's body comes as the investigation into the death of Mississippi teen Nolan Wells continues. The 18-year-old Black teen's body was found on July 6th on Horn Island, Mississippi, 2 days after he attended a party on the island with a group of all-white friends. What's more, this is the third hanging of a Black person in the state in less than a year. Last September, the body of 21-year-old DeMar Travion Reed was found hanging from a tree on the campus of Delta State University. And that same day, the body of 35-year-old Curtis Zucaitis was found hanging in a wooded area in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Authorities say those two incidents were unrelated and have listed both as suicides. Abortion rights advocates are spotlighting comments made by Dr. Erica Schwartz, the newly confirmed head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. During her confirmation hearing 3 weeks ago, Schwartz committed to increasing surveillance of abortions in states where they are monitored.
Also make sure that certain states are not conflating emergency services and hiding abortions in that emergency services case definition. We need to make sure we're pulling out true abortions and making sure that we're really having clear case definitions regarding abortion so the data is actually accurate.
The head of an abortion rights group issued a statement yesterday calling Schwartz an extremist and saying the confirmation cements her anti-abortion agenda at the center of the CDC's work rather than containing outbreaks and keeping the public safe. Minnie Chimarajo also vowing Republicans who supported Schwartz's confirmation will have to answer to their constituents. Schwartz was confirmed 2 days ago, becoming the first Black woman to lead the organization. This is BIN News this hour. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcast. I'm Andrea Coleman on the Black Information Network, home of Black News First.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We are proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like Pies of London, authentic English savory meat pies made with the best ingredients, located at 1071 Rolling Road in Elk Grove Village. Pop-in Plates, kitchen rentals, catering, and classes at 64 Lester Road in Park Forest. And Fusion Beauty Academy, professional training for cosmetology and more, located at 18 Ohio Street in Joliet.
Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the icon of American radio, WVON. We're in Chicago.
It's former state representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, Chicago. I am Ken Dunkin, and you listen to the afternoon show. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ha, 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 na, 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 hey. Loving our Facebook Live, the discussion with Dr. Willie Wilson. We're going to continue as with Black Gold. You know, the brother is, let me tell y'all something. Do not sleep on Dr. Willie Wilson. In this type of dynamic, y'all better open up your eyes. You'll see what happens. Go ahead, brother Black Gold.
Hey, what's happening?
What it do, baby?
Oh, man, it's Papa. You know? Papa.
Black Gold.
I just, who raised Mr. Wilson? His family or
you know
who
what?
raised him?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I have no idea.
Yeah, because me, myself, I was raised, my grandma, my mom, family member. And I just wanted to ask her, I mean, like, cause if push come to shove, he could put that in writing, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
And to confirm that, and that will concur everything. You understand what I'm saying? See, because that's not a game. But listen, I give thanks to God that I had no affiliation coming up with nobody's institution, the police, or none of that like that. Right. And the little minor incidents what I, went through. But you know what? I give thanks though. I give thanks to that song by the Manhattans. To my significant other, I love it. That's "You Are My Life." By the Manhattans.
Yeah, I got to check
man, I used to ride that bike, man. I used to try to sing these old classic songs from these guys, especially the one about the elements of the world.
Right.
A child is born with a soul to go way out of the world. And I used to always say I wanted to meet him. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Black Gold, I'm going to try to get you these callers, brother. You know you're my man, $100,000, right?
Hey, but listen, I work for mine. A Caucasian sister ain't done nothing but just show me some respect. And I appreciate her, and she know I do her and that brother. Because I come up with some decent individuals. See, God bless me like that.
Absolutely.
And I respect that brother and that sister. And like I say, everything I do, I work for it. No one done nothing for me free. I'm mama's man.
All right,
mama's baby.
All right, brother Black Gold.
Okay.
Appreciate you, baby. Yep. P-Yankee, you are on the Talk Chicago. What say you, my brother? Brother P-Yankee.
I was going to ask Mr. Wilson, during the COVID outbreak, he was a supplier of masks in 95. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Well, my question is this. Pritchard also needed masks, and he didn't go looking for masks. I think he went outside or abroad. And how is that making Chicago great again? And nobody says anything about that.
Wait,
you supposedly your own internal sources, especially your own business people,
right,
to supply what's needed.
Okay, I'm trying to understand.
Well, Pritchard needed masks, and rather than seeking Mr. Wilson out for supplying them, he went outside of the state.
Oh yes, that's right. That is right. That's right, and that was a big slap in the face.
Yeah, why come people not saying anything? He's running for governor again.
Ain't that something?
President.
Ain't that something? Yeah, Prince can get away with a hell of a lot of murder and unanswered questions. See, I'm not gonna softball him if I get a chance to interview him at all. So, but Bianchi, I want to get to these calls, man. You're my man, $100,000. Thank you, brother.
Make sure you hard questions, man.
Okay.
People are shaking their knees when they hear your name.
Hey, it's love. It's love. Talk to me. Hey, Cedric, what's good, my friend?
Brother KD, how you doing today, man?
So far, so great, man. These calls are lit up.
I know, and I hear it. and I had to call, especially Brother Wilson, Mr. Wilson. That boomer. I got to say something. Man.
Go ahead.
Listen. When I hear Mr. Wilson talk, I voted for him, first of all, because any man that would take his own money and do for the people, if he got billions of dollars in his possession, I'm sure he'll still do for the people.
Absolutely.
I know. I mean, he's doing it with his own money.
Without
so
him
when
running for
he gets
anything.
someone else's money, I know he'll still do for the people. So I ain't tripping on that with him. But my thing is, when I hear him, he reminds me of my dad, right? A boomer from the South, right?
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I don't know the intentions, but for me, being a 48-year-old man, in my eyes, I don't think my generation was ever good enough for the boomers. I don't think they ever saw us as adequate in their eyes. I really don't.
Interesting.
And the thing is like, by now, he should, in my opinion, with all the wealth that he's accumulated, he should be putting his strength behind someone younger than him and pushing them to another position. But I don't think he has the trust in someone other than himself to do the task.
And
that's why he's still running at this age.
Well, I appreciate that, because I got to go. But the reality is,
okay, brother.
Dr. Willie Wilson is sounding great. He's looking great. Don't sleep on him. I'm telling y'all. Brother Angel, I'm sorry about that. All right, we got to go. Angel, call back. We got to go to break. Get the news, the traffic, and the weather. We'll be back here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. We got another great guest coming up. Get excited.
More with Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's Rufus Williams. The thrill of summer is finally here, which also means it'll be over before we know it. This fall, the Rufus Williams Travel Club is heading to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Join me as we experience the beauty, the brilliance, and the culture of one of America's most captivating cities. We'll enjoy the charm of the Lowcountry, breathtaking scenery, incredible cuisine, and the rich African-American history of Charleston. There will also be a few special surprises designed just for our group. So whether you're traveling alone, with family, or with friends, you'll be welcomed into an unforgettable experience filled with great people and great memories. Space is limited, and the best rates are right now. Simply go to WVON.com, click on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and reserve your space. Advantage International is the official travel partner of the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Travel with people, travel with purpose, travel with us.
On the new episode of Mama, I Made It, Chicago made her. Hollywood embraced her. The South Side's own Lisa Ray McCoy sits down with Samantha Chapman for intimate conversation on Mama, I Made It. From her breakout role in the Players Club to becoming a television icon and entrepreneur, Lisa Ray opens up about her career, her Chicago roots, and the journey behind her success. Don't miss this exclusive interview, streaming now on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the Black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
When you play the Illinois Lottery, you're generating funds that support education. No matter the prize, Illinois wins. Play all your favorite Illinois Lottery games today to help raise more for education. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 years or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown at 95th. Stop and go traffic 15 minutes. I-57 Rhines I-80 slow go 17 minutes. Bishop Ford Rhines I-80 94. Slow moving traffic due to road work 23 minutes. Stevenson to Sable Lakeshore Drive to the Dry State stop and go traffic 32 minutes. Eisenhower Wolfville Post Office at snail speed 26 minutes. Kennedy downtown to O'Hare stop and go traffic 48 minutes. And Edens Munches Lake 5-minute delay, 21 minutes. The weather for today, Chicago, evening storms possible, high of 86 and a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy for the Bud Billiken Parade, high of 84 and a low of 67. It's currently 86 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago, WVON 1698.
And now back to former State Representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Such a dream, 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 such a dream.
All right, Chicago, we are black here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690. I'm going to go to Angel because we have a special guest on and that I want to get to. So, Brother Angel, what say you on the Talk of Chicago in response to the Willie Wilson?
Man, I love Willie Wilson. You know what? I fell asleep. I wanted to call. I didn't know who was going to be on the air, but when I woke up, I got the last 5 minutes. Oh, man, you know, if you fall asleep, you miss a lot on WVO Radio.
Absolutely.
But anyway, he's a good guy. I got friends of mine working for him. He's a beautiful person. He cares about the community. I wish the black community could get behind Willie Wilson, to tell the truth. I know he's not, I don't know if he's anti-immigration, but if he is, God bless him. I'm very much anti-immigration. You know, the mayor spent $800 million on these immigrants. The governor spent, how much money did he spend?
Over $3 billion.
So they're talking about, billions. And they're talking about Trump giving us a check for $1,700, the governor. Why don't he put that money together that he spent on immigrants and the mayor and send us a check? Because that's our tax money. I talked to the afternoon co-host. I can't remember his name. You know who it is, of course. Man. And I told him, let him give us a check. He goes, that wasn't tax money. Well, if it wasn't tax money, where'd it come from? Can I ask you that question? No, seriously.
No, it was all tax money. It was 100%.
Yeah, I know. He said it wasn't tax money. I said, what are you talking about? We paid for that. So that's ridiculous. Oh, man, I wish I would have stayed up.
You missed a great
conversation. But then again, love the show. Take care of yourself.
Thank you,
We're
Brother
going to meet
Angel.
one day.
Appreciate absolutely, man. I'm looking forward. Here. All right. Appreciate that. But here's what's going on. This is some really good news here. The future, was on full display today in Bronzeville as young people explored cutting-edge careers at the first ever Bronzeville Youth Innovation and STEM Fest. That's cool as all get out. A STEM Fest, man. Youth Innovation held at Southside Sanctuary. The event brought hands-on experience in robotics, aviation, AI, gaming, and more, all designed to inspire the next generation of innovators right here on Chicago's South Side. And guess what? Cecilia Cuff, who was on our live line, she opened the Southside Sanctuary in 2024. The public outdoors plaza serves as a popular venue for programming centered around arts and education and health and wellness and entrepreneurship and job creation. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Cecilia Cuff from the Southside Sanctuary. How you doing, Cecilia?
Hey, good afternoon. I'm well. We've been out in the sun all day, but I'm good.
Oh, I bet. Now, I would have loved to have been and stopped by there to see all this innovation. Tell us what happened today over at the Southside Sanctuary.
Absolutely. So we had a little over 100 youth between the ages of 8 and 18, and what we wanted to do was immerse them into a sense of belonging in everything that's STEAM related. So we had kids flying drones out there. We had an Aero Vision simulation station. They were learning how to do 3D printing, learning how to make their own video games with coding, doing some engineering and building buildings, a little bit of everything.
Wow.
So it was great. We had a lot of community partners. We had Chicago Public Schools out who helped talk about, education pathways into those careers that are in tech and STEM and AI. It was a pretty incredible event with all of our partners there.
That is awesome. So now, where is the Southside Sanctuary located?
I'll say our community location. We're across from Peaches. Everybody knows Peaches.
Yes, on 47.
So
47.
we're right across the street
Dr.
from
Martin
Peaches
Luther King Drive.
Yes, on 47th and Martin Luther King Drive, 4702 South Martin Luther King Drive. We opened about 2 years. Actually, yesterday was our 2-year anniversary. We opened up at that space because we really wanted to prove that if we could activate an empty city lot that had been vacant for 3 decades almost, that we would make our community safer. We would make our local community businesses busier. We would be able to host pop-ups and farmers markets and live music and be able to create a sense of belonging and togetherness so we could feel proud of our neighborhood. And in just 2 years, it's done just that. We've actually been tracking the statistics on how many people come through, how many folks come to the farmers markets, the crime rates within 1,000 feet with our local Chicago Police Department,
Yes.
and also working with the local businesses that just understand how much our activations are helping to increase foot traffic in the neighborhood.
That's amazing. So how was the turnout today?
It was great. We had a little over 150 RSVPs from students all over the South and West Side, mostly focused on the South Side. So it seemed like parents were just coming with kids and from the neighborhood. So we really tried to get out the word to everyone who was in our about 10 miles within our region. So it was packed. It was packed.
Loved it. I loved it, especially with STEM. So the sanctuary, the Southside Sanctuary, that is, this is your second year. Okay, I'm looking at 2024 here. Okay, what was the difference from last year and this year? Would you say that you improved on?
I think we improved. This is our first year for the STEAM Festival. We're getting more involved in the students. I think people know that we're there now. So this is the second year that we had our interns for the summer, and that's actually how the STEM Fest started, is that we had a group of 8 interns working with Chicago Youth Works in the city of Chicago, and each one of them had their own summer project. And so this was the culmination. Actually, I worked in tandem to produce this event with 2 of our summer interns. So 2 Chicago State University, 1 Illinois State University hopefuls, and they're students who now have something to put in their portfolio and say, I produced a STEM and Tech Fest. So I think year over year, year one, people were just kind of getting to know what a space could feel like.
Okay.
And I think now people know that that's a place where you can come on your lunch break and eat your lunch, or that's a place where you can come and do yoga. People now come every week religiously for our farmers market. We've got live music every Saturday night. So people now know that this is a space and you don't have to leave your community for beautiful things.
I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Cecilia Cuff. She is a community resource, a community economic development leader based right here in Chicago's South Side. Bronzeville Youth and Innovation STEAM Fest. I mean, love it at the Southside Sanctuary on 47th and Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. Thank you so much, Cecilia.
Thank you. Great to speak with you.
You're awesome. All right. Now, this is the time when Logan Page gives us the news, the weather, and the traffic here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Let's finish the day strong, listeners. I'm Logan Page, and here it's happening in your local and national news. Dr. Willie Wilson discusses a potential mayoral run with WVON's Ken Dunkin, focusing on the importance of responsible use of taxpayer dollars.
And I'm running for mayor for all citizens of the city of Chicago, not just for Black, Latina, and minority, but white also. But I'm also realized that we must make sure that the African American, the Latina, Asian American, whatever it may be, to get to a standard where that the tax dollars that they put in this city, put a program together that they can get created and get up there and make money just like anybody else. You see, minimum wage, you can't even buy health insurance.
Wilson says leaders should not just talk about what they plan to do, but demonstrate their commitment through their actions. In other news, the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office is working to identify 57 decomposing bodies discovered at South Chicago Chapel on Chicago's far south side. The remains were removed from the funeral home as investigators continue examining the situation. State records show the funeral home owners have faced previous disciplinary issues involving improperly stored bodies at another facility. In other news, the Bud Billiken Parade is this weekend. Bronzeville will be a who's who of dignitaries, politicians, entertainers, community activists, and dozens of beautiful floats, bands, and dancers. WVON's intern, Kayla Patton, has more on what to expect.
The beloved Bud Billiken Parade kicks off tomorrow for its 97th year and will showcase some of the best and brightest of Chicago talent. The celebration marks the start of a new academic year with excitement and resources. WVON's Rufus Williams exclusively interviewed the Grand Marshal for this year's parade, Lisa Ray McCoy, on what an honor it is to be part of the parade's legacy.
Because people don't understand how big and how important and how I am so emotional about this. To them, it's a parade that they've seen on TV every year because it's the back to school program. It is the celebration to say, yes, education is important still. You've had summer. Now it's time to buckle down and get focused, and we're going to do it again next year, bigger and better.
The parade route will start on 39th Street and King Drive to 51st Street at 10 a.m. with the Post-Parade Festival happening in Washington Park. It will feature local vendors, face painting, and groups focused on youth empowerment. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, the oldest living ex-Chicago Bears player is dead at 92. John DeMore passed away this week at his suburban Westmont home. He played on the Bears' offensive line from 1957 to 1959 when he retired due to an ankle injury. DeMore formerly owned DeMore Construction and DeMore Builders in Riverside. And President Trump is launching a push to increase domestic mining of rare earth minerals used in technology, automobiles, and military equipment. He announced more than $100 million in grants for mining schools and workforce training while calling for expanded U.S. production. Trump said the goal is to reduce reliance on foreign countries for critical minerals. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We're proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like the UPS Store, your one-stop shop for personal and small business solutions at 460 West Irving Park Road, Suite C in Bensonville. Highland Vans, custom-built and designed vans at 872 Cambridge Drive in Elk Grove Village. Samco Restaurant Equipment, family-owned equipment and small wares, located at 2347 136th Street in Blue Island.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Vaughn TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Greetings, WVON family. It's your brother and friend, Bomani Obedelli of the Activist Hour. Join me on Saturday mornings as we discuss a holistic and public health approach to addressing community violence. We will also be discussing ways that we can create a safe, peaceful, economically thriving, and healthy communities. Join me Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on WVON for the Activist Hour.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good Friday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Slow go, 15 minutes. I-57, Ryan's I-80, 1 minute delay, 16 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan's I-80, 94, slow go due to road work, 23 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive, to the Dry State, stop and go traffic, 30 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfton Post Office, stop and go traffic, 28 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic, 42 minutes. And Edens, Munchos Lake Cook, smooth sailing, 22 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, evening storms possible, high of 86 and a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy for Bud Billiken Parade, high of 84 and a low of 67. It's currently 88 degrees and partly cloudy. I'm Logan Page, and that's your traffic and weather update on WVON 1690 AM.
And now back to former State Representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, Chicago. We are black. Robert, what was that? What are you playing? I'm not a techie. I'm not a techno. No, bro. We gotta get you back. All right. In the meantime, in between time, as Chicago gears up for the iconic tomorrow, man, the Bud Billiken Day Parade is tomorrow. And guess what? Meridian will be there. They'll be there on display en route to bring in free, fresh resources and community support to families as a part of its Every Step Counts campaign. From free eye exams through its mobile vision van to food access tools like the Vivary app. Wow, that should be interesting. Vivary app Meridian is helping to connect residents with the services that they need to build healthier futures. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring on a person that I've known, my goodness, for quite some time. Wonderful person, beautiful young lady, married to a young friend of mine. She is the Vice President of Government and Community Relations at Meridian. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on Tangela Enyeha. All right, you probably know the last name, but welcome to the Talk of Chicago. Tangela,
Hey,
what's good? What's good? Enya.
Happy Friday.
I know, right? And I tell you, I'm carrying my butt home because I was out in the streets last night, Tangela.
That is not surprising.
I
That is not surprising at all.
had a great time too. Had a great time. So great to hear you. So you're at Meridian. Tell us what Meridian's impact is going to be at tomorrow's Bud Billiken Day Parade.
Absolutely, Ken. So tomorrow, Meridian and Youth Care, our line of business that serves youth and former youth in care, will be walking in the 97th Bud Billiken Parade.
Yes.
We will wrap up walking in the parade by landing in the festival. When we get to the festival, we will have a vision van. We will have our partners from Vivary there who have an app where if you download the app and you create an account, you can see roughly 2,000 of the state's food pantries and other resources that are inside the app. They're also giving food. They're also giving giveaways. Vivary is alongside us in the festival footprint of the Bud Billiken. So please, y'all, come by and see us. If you are a Meridian or Youth Care member, please let us know when you stop by. It makes the giveaway sweeter that we have there for you. And this year, as you mentioned, our campaign is Every Step Counts. it's moving your body, it's
Yes.
healing your mind. And we know that physical movement, mental health, and vision care really lead to whole person care, Ken. And so what we're doing in the Bud is we're there to support the community. We're committed to caring for the whole person so that children and families can confidently step in and see their future. We collaborate with trusted community organizations like Project Hood and Vivery to bring vital health resources directly into the neighborhood. So we are talking the talk and walking the walk literally in the Bud tomorrow. We know that when these folks have resources directly in the neighborhoods, Ken, that we can help improve local healthcare outcomes. And that's what it's all about. It's that every health action matters, every step counts, whether it's seeing a doctor, protecting your vision, staying active, or eating good food. It's every small decision moves families closer to a better, healthier future.
I love that. That is, I'm inspired at the same time. How did you come up with the Vivery concept? Explain that a little bit more about the mapping.
We partner with Vivery originally under our Food is Medicine campaign, and through the Food is Medicine campaign, a specific cohort of our members, we were trying to see if they had access to fresh food, if their healthcare outcomes would change. And we are seeing positive outcomes with that cohort and with that initiative under our Food is Medicine banner. But Vivery has been working with community-based organizations all across the state of Illinois for a while now. Most of the food pantries in neighborhoods and neighborhoods that the listeners know are leveraging Vivery and Vivery's technology. We're partnering with Vivery because of the recent changes to SNAP to Medicaid. And what we want to ensure is that people all in the community have access to learning where they can get food, but also learning where they can do volunteer placements with their local food pantries. And that's where Vivery comes in.
Wow. So this Vivery concept is critical. I love that. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. Does it give you addresses even up north or in the suburbs as well? Or it's everywhere?
Yeah, Vivery has all to, I want to say roughly 2,100, if I'm being even more accurate. Basically all the food pantries all across the state. So north side, west side, south side, even in the far down corners of the state. If you got a food pantry, it's likely it likely has a spot or a listing in Vivery. And what we really want to ensure is that nobody's hungry, right? We know that people make tough choices every day. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to help them overcome barriers and obstacles to leading healthier lives. And sometimes that literally is, what am I going to eat today?
Yes, like literally. So let me ask, why is the Bud Billiken Day Parade an important place for Meridian to connect with the Chicago families?
What? Because this is the 97th year. You're not going to get me in trouble with IDD, Ken. And we're showing up at the Bud as a longtime partner of this iconic Chicago tradition. We know the parade is a celebration of culture, community, and movement where literally every step counts. And so for us, it's a perfect opportunity to connect families directly to essential resources, such as the vision exam that we're having, nutrition tips, just in time for the new school year, not forgetting that this is a back-to-school parade and definitely for the kids.
Absolutely, absolutely. So where can people find you at the parade, along the parade route? Where are you going to be posted up?
Yeah, so we will hop into the parade right there at East Pershing, and we'll likely be crossing 41st Street sometime around noon. But you can find us all in up the boulevard. You'll see us in the bright orange, handing out the pom-poms and the clacker. They can also find us in the activation of the Bud Billiken Festival in the healthcare corridor. We will be at an intersection across from American Red Cross.
Okay.
You'll see Meridian, you'll see Youth Care, you'll see our photo booth, you'll see our vision van. It'll be really, really hard to miss us, Ken, but that's what we'll be.
I love it. I love it. Well, look here. You're offering resources at the parade, and that's value add. I'm very proud of you, Tangela. Just continue to stay active in our community. You've always been valuable to us, so we thank you.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for highlighting the Bud Billiken Parade tomorrow, Ken. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yep, I may see you tomorrow. I'm going to stop by and say hello.
Please do. Please do.
All right. Tangela, and love hearing from you, and keep up the great work. She's wonderful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all right. We'll be back here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
More with Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Chicago, get ready for a night of pure magic. On Saturday, August 29th, the Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute lights up the historic Congress Theater. One unforgettable night celebrating the songs that defined a generation. Imagine Survivor, Say My Name, Independent Woman, Reimagined. A 5-piece string ensemble delivers a stunning symphonic interpretation of the hits and love songs you know by heart, blending contemporary sounds with the group's signature harmonies and those empowering lyrics that still move us today. And guiding you through it all, narrator Matthew Knowles, the management powerhouse who built Destiny's Child from Houston Dream to global phenomenon. Want the ultimate experience? Upgrade to VIP for premium seating and an exclusive meet and greet. But hurry, VIP packages are limited. From the moment the doors open, you'll feel it. It isn't just a concert, it's a celebration. The Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute, August 29th, Congress Theater. Tickets at destinyschild.com. Get yours before they're gone.
Hey family, it's me again, Joan Colosso, Executive and Artistic Director of the amazing Timeless Gifts Performing Arts Program for youth and young adults. It's been a great summer, and now it's time for you to see the incredible talent we've been cultivating in 2026 as we present a Timeless Gifts Review, Sunday, August 9th at the Logan Center. And enjoy this amazing musical journey as we share some of our best experiences and productions over our 16 years, like Timeless, a musical review, Hit Me, Once a Hit, Always a Hit, and from our international tour in Milan, Italy, and much more. That's Sunday, August 9th at the Logan Center, 915 East 60th Street. For tickets and information, go to ticketfalcon.com/TG Summer 2026 and find us on social media at TimelessGifts_Chicago or call us at 312-808-0005.
It's Rufus Williams.
The radio keeps our ear to the pavement so we know what's going on in the community. And I got to say, what and how you've been doing it as my frat brother, but more importantly, what VON does, you are the new Ebony Jet that keeps our community connected.
Well, thanks. That's a huge compliment. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Jewel Osco. Shop Jewel Osco and catch the savings on seafood. Fresh Atlantic salmon fillets are $5.99 a pound. Limit 10 pounds. Plus, Waterfront Bistro 26 to 30 count easy peel raw shrimp is also $5.99 a pound. Limit 4 pounds.
And now back to former State Representative Ken Dunkin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, Chicago, we are black here. And guess what? Chicago's own Lisa Ray McCoy joins Samantha Chapman on a brand new episode of Mama, I Made It. Hear her story from Chicago to Hollywood and the journey behind her success. Watch it now on Vaughn TV, available on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, and the VON.TV TV. Seems like that should be quite an interesting interview with Samantha Chapman and Lisa Ray McCoy. All right, we're going to go to the lines. Brother Joe, you're on Talk of Chicago. Thanks for holding, man. You've been on for a little bit.
Yeah, I just want to say, Willie Wilson bring absolutely nothing to this mayor's election simply because, he needs to really get out of his own way and help the mayor. And what he's doing, he's a spoiler, man. And we'll wind up with somebody else that don't look like us in the mayor's office for the next 20 years if we lose this.
So, Joe, let me ask.
He'll be dead. Yeah.
So, what if Dr. Wilson would say that he reached out and tried to help? What would be your response to that?
I would say his approach is all wrong. You can give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. You teach people how to fish, they'll eat for a lifetime. For him, it was all me, me, me. I gave this, I gave that. He sounds like a scorned lover. I gave you this, I gave you that, but I didn't get this in return. Be a cheerful giver. You don't have to remind us. You know what I mean? He's wealthy, okay, great. But he coming into the mayor's office at 80 years old, come on, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I'm for older.
Why are we discriminating against someone's age? He sounds
We're
great.
being realistic. Realistic
he looks
here,
healthy.
okay?
I mean,
okay, great. Okay. Let's say he lived to be 100. Is that the goal here? To be mayor for the next 20 years at 80 years old?
Joe, let's say Dr. Willie Wilson is healthy as a 50-year-old, right? His vitals check out. He looks good, sounds good. He's moving well. I mean, why do we need to discriminate against him based off of his mere age? The president
I'm not
is 80.
discriminating. I'm being realistic. It's just like if I'm 4'11" and I'm talking about going to the NBA. Okay? No, you can't teach height and you cannot buy youth. So, he's given a lot of money, but he would be more viable backing the mayor, who is a very viable candidate. He did everything he could and managed a crisis with immigrants. Just think what that would have looked like if he hadn't managed that. People talk about how much money he spent. It would have cost more to let these people just be in the streets roaming around.
So why was he, sanctuary city or state aside, why should he have been obligated to take care of some illegal aliens who didn't pay into the tax base with your taxpaying dollars?
Well, why didn't we blame Governor Abbott of Texas for bringing them here?
We did.
The federal government should have stepped in and said, hey, send them back to Texas.
We did.
Texas, send them over the border.
And that could have been an option, right? He could have sent them back to wherever. The reality is,
this wasn't Brandon Johnson's fault.
No, listen, Brandon Johnson put himself in a quagmire along with the governor. Now the governor's throwing him under the bus at every turn.
Well, look, these people became, the governor is who he is, the mayor is who he is. He took the office, he managed a crisis. What don't you see in that?
Well, the crisis could have been, if we are not accepted, when you get here, we're going to turn you right back or send them somewhere else.
It costs money to do that.
And it would have cost him over $1 billion.
He could not corral all these people up and send them back.
Look here. When you go around touting that you're a sanctuary city and a sanctuary state, you're going to get people sending them there. Listen, he could have, and he didn't even put it on the ballot, Joe. It had a chance to become a referendum, and he blocked it. I mean, come on.
If it got on the ballot, then what?
And it would have been up to you and I as citizens to vote it up or down whether Chicago should be a sanctuary city or not. Why didn't he allow that? He blocked
Let's say we killed a sanctuary city. Let's say it's no longer a sanctuary city. The people are already here. They're there.
No. Let me say something, Joe.
You need manpower to get them together, put them somewhere, and send them back.
Look here. Let me tell you this here.
Where does that come from?
You better not even think that people have forgotten about that investment of these strangers, these illegals that came here. They had a negative impact by and large. I know you listen to people listen
Brandon
to the socialists.
Johnson didn't
He
bring
had a
them
choice.
there.
We know that, but what I'm saying is they could have been, those buses could have been turned around. He also could have said, we are not accepting anyone in the city.
No.
Yes, he could
What
have.
do you mean buses? We talking about planes, trains, and automobiles.
All of the
These
above,
people been
Joe.
coming illegally to Chicago since I was a baby. Okay? They've been coming here for 50 years.
But, so when's the last time
They
we
were already
invested?
deeply rooted here. Before Brandon Johnson was born, they were already coming here
We did
illegal.
that. But so when was the last or the first time that we invested that type of money at the state level and at the city level, Joe?
We've been investing money in black communities, man, for a very long time. It takes us to manage that. It takes us to pull us up. God ain't coming. The cavalry not coming. Brandon Johnson came and managed a crisis, and for whatever reason, you don't like it.
My last question to you is this here, Joe. And I'm good with disagreeing. Why are so many people running against Mayor Johnson at this moment?
Because they want a job. They want that salary.
Just
they
like
want to
that,
find any and everything they can to criticize this man.
Wow.
He's doing an admirable job. He's our Harold Washington now.
I don't know about if he's Harold Washington, brother. That's a
You know
major
what?
statement.
Hated or love it, underdogs on top. The man's an underdog. He going to rise to the top. But the black community going to fool around, and we're going to get Janulius, and then what?
All right. Okay.
If I could quote Art, what now?
All right, brother Joe, we appreciate you. Tax Doctor, you are on the Talk of Chicago. What say you, my friend?
Oh, man.
And welcome back. Where you been?
Look, we have 100 and some thousand millionaires, 25 billionaires in this city. And we need these folks to step up and help out our city. Also, we want to make sure that all these candidates that's running, we need to get them on record that they support the con for 2028. None of these candidates going to solve the economic crisis of Chicago or our state if we don't have a constitutional convention or a constitutional amendment to change how we operate. Ken, keep up the good work.
I appreciate that. What do we need to do, Tax Doctor, to get this in the front minds of everybody?
Well, we got to keep talking about the fact that the pension crisis, the school financial crisis cannot be resolved unless you have a constitutional amendment or a constitutional convention to change how we fund education. Yes, the speaker spoke about the $150 million. And the question is, where is he going to get that $150 million? They owe EBF, evidence-based funding, over $2 to $3 billion. And they keep telling the mayor of Chicago and the taxpayers, we're not going to give Chicago or education any more money. Well, Ken, if they're not going to do it, that's why we need to have a constitutional convention to change how we fund education in our state.
I agree wholeheartedly with you, man. We should been did that. What the state invests in education is pathetically abysmal. So, Tax Doctor, as per usual, you are always on point. We appreciate you, brother. And speaking of people being on point, Sister Logan Page, Brother Robert, and my producer, Sonia Walls, we thank you, and I'm very appreciative. So thank you. And in the meantime, in between time, let's get ready for the Kendall Moore Show. Shalom, shalom.
Thank you, Ken Duncan. It's always a pleasure to listen to you live at WVON. I'm Logan Page, and here are your headlines. Dr. Willie Wilson talks taxpayer dollars and leadership. Bud Billiken Parade returns this weekend. Former West Chicago grade school teacher charged with sexually abusing students. Bears head coach Ben Johnson is cast member of Hallmark Channel movie. And Cameron calls out Cardi B's team over failed collaboration. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Discover a new podcast from our library of hundreds of thousands of titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
Go behind the crime scenes of one of England's most notorious modern murders. In the companion podcast to HBO Max's true crime drama, The Murders at White House Farm, you'll hear from those involved in the making of the series and the real-life events on which the drama is based.
Follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one app.
The Black Information Network.
Follow us on social media at the Black Information Network. Listen online at BINnews.com or tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network on iHeartRadio.